Hello, my beans. It is Auntie Evie on her new YouTube channel. I'm going to be nice and awkward through this, so be prepared. I've heard and seen evidence that you guys are making yourselves some little customized dolls, and I thought it would be fun if I also made one so that we could go on our doll making journey together. So I have here a doll, which I have prepared as far as I'm going to prepare it. I'm not taking that head off. It's hard as a rock, and I don't feel like boiling water. This is not a Barbie doll or a Monster High doll. I don't know, I got like a pack of them from Walmart for like $14, and there was like 7 dolls in it. So yeah, I've got a few more of these that I can use if this goes disastrously wrong. I picked this one because she's nice and pasty like me. The other ones have some different skin tones, so that's good. And as you can see, I've already hacked her hair off because this is not the color of my hair. And I'm not going to do a reroot because, no, I do not have that kind of patience. Listen, you guys' reroots are looking awesome. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make her a wig. And I even hacked off some of my own hair before I got my last haircut so that it can be my actual hair color. That's going to be a while coming down the road, though, because we're going to need to do some body modifications. This doll is going to be a version of me in doll form because I thought that would be fun. And also, every time I make myself in doll form, then I make myself my Hobbit pants. And so I'm going to make this into me, and then I'm going to make it a set of my Hobbit pants so that I can have this kind of doll as my Hobbit pants. Now, you will have noticed that this doll does not look like me. I'm not going to do anything to the face because it's just kind of a roundish face, which is pretty much what I have. But the rest of the body is not at all shaped like me. So I have prepared as close as I could get to scale drawing of me in the same scale that this doll is. Now, if you look at this picture and this doll, you will notice that actually proportionally, like vertically, she lines up pretty well. Like her shoulders are about where my shoulders are. My face is behind this. This is an awkward choice. There we go. Her face is about, or her shoulders about where my shoulders are. Her chin is about where my chin is. Her hips are about where my hips is, and her knees are about where my knees are. Now, she's a little too tall. She's about 6 feet, and I'm about 5'4". But she's in proportion vertically. And her head is not actually that enormous compared to what this is on the drawing. Now, the biggest difference you're going to notice is that I am much wider than her. As you can see where my shoulders are, like that's where her head's in. This part of her shoulder right up here is going to need to line up with about right here. And so I'm going to need to split this doll in half and down the torso and spread her out so that she's actually properly wide enough. And then I'll be adding some bulk on. And then the other one, which has some nice blurry lines because I smeared the ink all over when I was drawing it. This is me from the side. It's pretty, I mean, I'm not like an expert in drawing human bodies, but I feel like it's a pretty accurate drawing, and that's about, about where it would line up. Compared to this doll, she's going to need a little bit of modification. I mean, she absolutely needs some bulking out, and we're gonna see what happens. But again, like her knees line up about my knees, her hips about line up with my hips. So we're gonna need to add some bulk on there, but it's not too bad. I was expecting it to be much less in proportion. But yeah, so that's a good start. I'm gonna have to decide where I want to do some chop lines on this thing. I'm gonna first, we're just using a mystery pen. I don't know if I'll be able to get this off or if it's even gonna draw on here. All right, so I don't want to do anything with this head, so we're gonna do like the autopsy line where like you split down the middle here. Nice and creepily. Yep, we're gonna cut a line like that. And then we're gonna cut down the middle all the way down here. You know what? We're going to have to cut her all the way down the bottom because none of this is wide enough. So that's about where my cut line is going to be. I'm not sure how it's going to affect the hips. I don't think it's going to be a problem. They've got a decent range of motion, but I think this will just split sort of between them. I'm also going to want to give her some knee joints because her legs don't bend. I'm fine with the range of motion forward and backward, and I'm fine with the side to side. I don't need it to make a full split. I can't make the full splits. So we're just going to go ahead and, you know, give her a little chop at the knee. And then we'll get into the process of making that hinged. All right, I'm not going to do anything with the ankles because, I mean, I'm going to need to bulk them out a little. But I'm also going to have to make the feet bigger and things, but I don't feel like that's a small amount of plastic to work with, and I don't feel like putting a hinge on that. Speaking of small amounts of plastic, I don't know if you noticed, but the proportion of her arm compared to mine, my arm has a significant amount more bulk, which is fine. I have any bulk everywhere else, but I am going to have to put a hinge here. And so I'm hoping that this isn't going to be too small of a joint. Otherwise, we're going to get creative. And the same thing goes for the shoulder because, yeah, my shoulder's not that small. So that could be interesting. For the moment, I'm just going to mark some cut lines on there. And we're going to cut that. Now, I'm hoping that I can just chop through this arm, possibly the leg, with like wire cutters. I was looking for my tin snips, but I couldn't find them. I have saws and I have a Dremel, so if I have them, I'm going to have to do that, probably go through the torso. That is hard plastic, not like the rubbery kind of stuff you find on the arms. So the wire cutters are not going to be an option for that. But I'm really hoping that I can just make one good hack on this thing. We're going to find out. Ha! Yes. Clean cut. Which is my favorite kind. Yes, okay. The arms are removed. Oh, I'm also not doing anything with her wrists because if the ankles are too small for me to put a joint in, the wrists most certainly are. Yeah, the hands are a little small, but I'm also not going to sculpt on that because I'm not a good sculptor. I don't have the patience. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. Now let's take a look at these legs. That arm came off really well. I'm hoping. But the leg also will. It's going through. I can feel it. Woo! All right, we're going to need to make 2 cuts on this one, which is not surprising because these are not the biggest cutters. But me not having my tin snips is not preventing me from doing this, which I am very happy about. Because I don't know where those are. I think they're in the basement, but I don't want to go down there because it involves moving our couch. And also, I don't want to know if it's flooding right now. It's been raining a lot, and I got like the basement is flooding smell coming up through my vent, which means I do have to go check because like if it's flooding, I have to tell Dan and have him come fix it. But, you know, we're just gonna hope that it's not. All right, here are our lower legs. She is not as muscular as me. I've got some leg muscles going on. She does not. I mean, she has whatever she has, but it's not what I have. Okay. So here she is. Looking great. I need to redraw this cut line and draw a cut line down the back. Because, yeah. Kind of need to know where we're hacking in here. Oh, and this thing is a little translucent. So if I do this correctly, I will miss the shoulder joints. I can actually see them through the plastic, which that is quite convenient. Now this pen is not friggin' drawing on here because, you know, why would it be convenient if it could be a pain in my butt? All right, let's see. Yeah, I think if I aim for the butt crack on the back, I think that I will miss the hinges for the hips. And if I don't, I will cross that bridge when I get to it. All right. Now this is my Dremel. It's actually in its box, which is pretty surprising for me. I recently recharged the battery because I thought I was going to need it on a different project. I did not end up needing it on that project, but the battery should still be charged. Yep, she goes. Okay. I've got the plug-in thing in case I need to do it. And I do have a plug-in Dremel, but sometimes it doesn't work. And I don't know why. And I'm just not going to futz with it. All right. I actually have all of the paperwork for this thing, which generally I don't keep them, so I'm going to throw them away. But I have like the instruction manual still in there. So if I do need that, then I have it. Okay, this is my little tightening tool for that thing. And neither of the pieces that are in there are the right one, but fortunately, I got this for Christmas several years ago. So I can just put on one of these cutting wheel ends. I have a whole bunch of them for when I inevitably break one. All right. Let's see. Oh, man, you got my safety glasses. Do I have a pair in here? Oh, those are chemical safety glasses. But I might wear them anyway, even though they're not actually proper debris safety glasses. But my other ones are, I think, in the kitchen. Because I was mowing the lawn and, like, doing choppy things. Freaking piece of crap. Now, the problem with this thing being smooth metal is that I can't grip it with my fingers. So we're going to pull out the pliers, you piece of crap. Do what I want you to do. I could lock this into my Dremel and then do it, but I'm really hoping that I don't have to do that because I think it'll be easier to put this on if I don't. I might be wrong. It might actually be easier to do it while it's locked into the Dremel. So, come on, screw. Come on out. Okay. Don't know if you can see this, but it's a little peg. This end is going to go into the Dremel. And that end has a little screw hole and a little tiny screw. And then you pick a blade. This one looks like I've already used it. It's got a nice nick out of it. Let's see if we can use it again or if it'll break. And then if it breaks, then it won't be in my container anymore. And if it doesn't break, then I'll use the one I've already used. All right, come on now. I would like to stop having to touch this piece of sandpapery stuff with my fingers. All right, she's tight. Now, my Dremel's got this thing, and this twists to open and close it. You have a little button on the side to lock the mechanism so that it will actually open and close and not just spin uselessly. Come on. Come on now. It's been a long time since I've used this. You are... Hold on. Are you open too far for this? Oh, it's a different tip. Interesting. Interesting. That's as tight as it gets, but I need you to loosen up. Ah, there she goes. She was just stuck a little bit. Right. And then while holding this button, we're just going to tighten her up a little more. Hopefully she's secure. All right, let me get my safety glasses. You can admire the mess. This is all my laundry, which I folded but haven't put away yet because I'm lazy. And I have over here all of my PPE. We're going to use these ones because they're chemical safety glasses, but they got like a hard plate, and this isn't that powerful. But it is too loose for my face, so we're going to go ahead and tighten it up a little bit. Okay, staying on. All right, we're about to make a giant mess in my bedroom, and I am not actually overly thrilled at the prospect, but what are you going to do? I don't want to take it outside. I'm lazy. All right. That's going to be a hard spot to get into. The crotch down there. Oh, it's going to be weird. I might have to take my saw or something to part of it. Okay. This is the challenge. Getting into the crotch area. I think... Ah! Oh, that's okay. We actually wanted that to happen. Heads off. Okay, I can actually see down into the cavity now. And yeah, there's going to be a little bit of an adventure getting that apart. I think that if I cut down between, like down under this crotch area, between there, I think I'll be able to like maybe twist and pull part of this off. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be going the wrong direction for it. We'll find out. But yeah, this is going to make our life easier. At least a little bit. Don't do this. Let's see if I can just bypass that by cutting like a slant here. I'm going to be covering up a bunch of this anyway. So, give it a shot. There's like a central peg as part of the support for the waist. So not the waist, this is the hips. As part of the support for it though. And I think, we're not going to stick my thumb up like that. I think I can maybe cut the size of it. And we'll just end up taking it out later. Alright, let's take a look. Okay. That is headed for the side of that. I gotta work on the other half. But it is making some good progress. We're gonna have to do the same on the back though. And I don't know if because of the way the back dips, that's gonna be possible. But we're gonna try it. And if this doesn't work, we're just gonna get out an actual saw. Okay. I just wanna see what happens if I... Okay, she's pretty sturdy that way. Less sturdy this way. Okay, that's almost off. I do need to cut through this crotch more. But I think I've reached the deepest depth that this is going to go. So it's saw time. We'll see how that works. Well, I found a hacksaw blade. If you're going to use a hacksaw, use an actual proper hacksaw handle. Don't do what I'm about to do. Because I'm too lazy, and also I'm a grown-up, and if I want to chop my fingers off, I can. You can't because you're a kid. It's going to be annoying. It's going to take 1,000 years in a day. I can't even tell if this is cutting anything. But I'm going to assume that it is. And we'll find out later if I'm right or wrong. This is disturbing, in case you were wondering. I don't recommend hacking dolls apart this way, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're experimenting. I do think it's cutting, which is something. Go from the top now. See if we can... Oof! That sounds bad. Oof! You are unpleasant sounding. We're almost through. Let's see if we can brute force it. I'm gonna break something. Just wait and see. Oh! Nope. It's gonna crack my shell of my torso. Nope, we're not brute forcing it. It's not happening. We're going back to the disturbing cutting. It is doing something. I feel like it looks like it's not doing something. It is doing something. It's just, you know, not doing as much as I want it to do as quickly as I want it to do it. Which is not my favorite because I'm very impatient. Speaking of impatience, I wonder if I can just cram something in there and like pop it apart. That's not what this is made for. These are tweezers. They are definitely not made for this. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's still too tightly connected in there. Okay. Going at it again. The hacksawing away. I'm gonna buy a friggin' vacuum cleaner. Or we'll just do what I always do. Just sweep my debris directly off my table into a garbage can. Or onto my floor and then sweep it up with a broom. But usually into a garbage can. One fewer step. Steps. One day you're gonna cut through. It's gonna happen, I'm pretty sure. How are you looking? I mean, it's warm, it's not hot yet, but it's doing something. Man, I really preferred when I was using the Dremel. It worked a lot faster than this nonsense. Oh, it would be nice if I could just pop that in half. Do I have another option? No, I don't. I don't have I mean, I have a wood saw, but I'm not going to try and shove a wood saw in here. It'll be even less convenient than a hacksaw blade. I'm not enjoying this part of this, but I'm going to keep doing it because I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy other parts later. Let's take a look again. Ooh, there's a lot of plastic scrap coming off that. Ooh, Auntie Rachel just got home. Ah! Well, I broke something in there.
Hey.
Hi!
Can we go to the pharmacy so I can get cough medicine and my other medicine?
Yep. Okay, I'm back. We went to the pharmacy, got Rachel's medicine, came back. So, she is in her room with her cold. I am in my room with my hacksaw. Just awkwardly sawing away at this. I feel like I'm really close to a breakthrough here, but I could just be deluding myself. Really hoping that I'm not, because I'm super impatient right now. Like, I would like this to be done, please, and thank you. If only I could cut everything as easily as the arms and legs came off. That would be delightful. But nope, we're gonna sit here and saw at this for a while. Okay. How's she looking? It's coming along. We're gonna make an attempt with these, just because at least then I can say that I did try to make my life easier. Freaking pinch myself. Ew. Cut! I think they are actually cutting. Ooh, that went through something. Listen, I love wire cutters. These might be the MVP of this particular show. Ugh. Jesus Christ. That is some stuck together stuff. Listen. I need to split you apart again, so pinch the other side while I do this. Ooh! Something popped. What popped and why? Oh, I can see the hinges in there. I'm trying to split the pelvis. That's why this is so hard. There's like a double knot, like a plastic bit with two knobber bollies that come out for the hip sockets. And I'm really just trying to split that giant plastic piece in half. Well, at the moment, I have chosen a side, and now I'm just going to try to cut one of these friggin' hip sockets out. Ah! All right. She went through. Here We have removed a leg. Not intentionally. I did intend to keep this in there, but what's done is done. Will you come out or are you going to stay in? That one's staying in, which is honestly fine. I mean, if I have to take it out later, I'll take it out later. But right now, we're not taking it out. Okay. We're done with the hacksaw blade. I'm not going to actually put it away. I'm just going to set it off to the side, which is what I always do with all my stuff. And then I whine about having an overly full table. I should have put those back on before I went back to hacking, by the way. Safety first. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, let's get all of my assembled pieces. Hold on. This table is moving because I'm trying to pick up my garbage can and put it on my lap, but there's not actually enough room between my lap and the table to do that. So we're picking up the table and moving it around. Not intentionally, that's just what we're doing. Plastic bits. This is going to be turned into a Christmas ornament at some point. I should add the hanger to it. This one has its hanger added to it. I just didn't put it on a Christmas tree or in our bins of Christmas stuff when we put them in the basement. So it's going to sit in my room until I lose it or find it next year. Next year. Find it later this year. Oh, you don't want to come clean. Static's the worst. Hate static. Okay. Now I need something to scrape the rest of this plastic off of my table. We're doing this the professional way. Called with any piece of semi-hard paper that I can find. And by whacking things on things, I'm going to need to like wipe this down with wet paper towel or something because, ooh! She's full of debris. Where's the other half of your body? That's a little better. Yeah, we're just gonna have plastic for the next 1,000 years. I don't own a vacuum cleaner because we have hardwood floors. And yeah, I would own a shop vac, except that I'm cheap and also we don't have room. And I'm not going to store it in the basement because then I'll never use it. And the whole point of me getting a shop vac would be so that I could use it. Ah! Okay, keep that paper for when I need to scrape more stuff into this pile later. Okay, now you're going to... Where's my tool? I'm going to disarm the Dremel. Daddy, lefty, Lucy. Come out. Come on. There we go. Now it's loose enough. And you're not going to store with that in there, so taking this off first. Or we're going to do is see if we can fit it underneath this plastic thing, because the amount that I don't want to take this off is a lot. So we're going to try putting this away. Which one? Oh, this one's got the latch. Ah! That was stupid. Okay. Okay. It kind of goes underneath that. No. Come back this way. Sit. We're going to hope that works. I'm just going to put these cutting wheels back in here. There's a lot of them, which I appreciate. Get behind a good supply of cutting material. Okay. Now, the real question is, will it close? Yes. All right. And now you can go back in the bag. And all of the Dremel bits can go back in the box. I'll fix that later. This is my philosophy of crafting, by the way. I'll fix it later. Which, when you're an adult, you can do that. When you're a kid, you can't, like, make giant messes unless your parents are okay with it. So, I mean, you can't leave them there unless your parents are okay with it. But I am a grown-up, so I can do whatever the crap I want. I mean, within reason. I do have to be courteous to my roommate. Woo! Alright. Now, if you're too lazy to go find a file, you can use the rough bit on these things to scrape some of these extra plastic muck off of here. It's not the recommended use for needle nose pliers, but it does work. It's not going to actually smooth it out, but it will take off some of the bigger chunks. Ooh, okay, we're coming now. Listen, some people would opt to get an actual sanding implement. They are not me. I'm way too lazy for that. Okay, one more scrape o' things into my trash can. Now that I've picked some of the bits off. Boy, I have got some interesting cuts on this cutting pad. But at least they're not cuts on my desk. Alright. Now we have all of our parts. Head and neck. Lower legs, which I will need to put a joint in. Knees. One attached, one not. What's that yellow thing? Where did something yellow come from? Is there grease on one of my tools? Did paint come off my hacksaw blade? That's a little disturbing. The other half of the torso. And the lower arms. All right. Now, let's see. Where's my little cutter? We're going to be using this little guy to make some cuts in these. Now, picturing joints. She's going to need one. I'm going to do one of those. I mean, where's a piece of paper? No, not that piece of paper. Boy, I'm very organized. I'm going to do one of those joints that comes down like this. And it's got the pin that runs through here. And then this one comes up into a loop. That's the kind of joint I'm going to do because it involves the least amount of hacking on my part. And I have a drill, so why not? All right, we're going to do those in the knees and in the arms. All right, you're the lower arm. You are not getting a notch cut out of you. Boy, you're going to be annoying. Okay. Or do I want to put the notch in the lower arm? I want to build the joint off it. Is that going to be flimsy? Probably it's going to be flimsy. But will it be bulkier? You know what? If this doesn't work, I'm just going to add a joint on top of it. And we'll deal with it later. I'll just chop more off the arms and just add something on with like toothpicks and stuff. Not toothpicks. Popsicle sticks. Or something else, depending on what I have in my hoard. Okay. Now, one might think, I'm putting my safety glasses back on, one might think that I would draw something on here to see what dimensions of stuff I'm going to be doing. One would be incorrect. I'm just going to start cutting because that's the way I roll. Okay. Oh, I should have drilled through the top of this and then cut because then I could just... No, we're not going to do that. That involves getting up my drill already. And I don't feel like doing that. Am I doing this? Yes, I'm doing this right. Okay, yes, just chopping down. Ooh, get your fingers away from there. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. All right. Where's the other one? Oh, it's on the line. Great, great. We love it when we cut crookedly. Now we do our center cut, Joe, I'll be honest with you. Not really sure how they do this usually. Maybe they have like a proper actual like chisel or something. But we don't have one. So we're just gonna get to hacking, I guess. This thing's doing okay, I think, so far mostly. I need to cut that deeper, probably. Definitely. That's okay. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Not to make cuts near your fingers. It's called How You Cut Yourself with an X-Acto knife. Well, this is a box cutter, but, you know, it counts. Down your pliers. Never a wrong time for some needle nose pliers. Okay, we're gonna do some little diagonal cuts in here. Yeah, that cleared a lot out the middle. Okay, okay. Make you a little longer. Cut a little further up into the arm. Ow. I mean, it would be nice if these were finer pointed, but it's fine. This is some flexible plastic. Is this rubber? No, it's probably plastic. At any rate, it's flexible, so. It still doesn't seem like it goes far enough up into there. We're going to cut further in. Come on. Ooh, boy, I need something I can just slice down into there with that's narrow. But I don't have it, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to use what we do have. Should I have drilled that hole through before I cut this? Probably. But I didn't, and I don't care. We're going to do the exact same way on the other side. Oh, this one's even more awkward because it's got a friggin' leg attached to it. Okay. Alright. I'm going to shorten this blade up a little. Most likely the hood of it breaking on us. Not that I think that it's impossible to happen. I just think that, you know, we're going to try not to snap an X-Acto blade in our face. Come on out. All the little cuts. All the little cuts in the room. Ah! Nothing broke. Good news. Well, possibly part of this thing broke. I'm just not meant to have that much pressure put on it. Listen, if it wants to be a wimp, I guess it can be a wimp. But I will complain loudly and excessively. Just not right now, because I'm very focused on ripping bits out of this. Gotcha. Okay. Are you about the same depth as the other one? How are they looking? Woo! That's disturbing. Okay. Arms. Let's see how they look. Where's the thing? What do you think? They're pretty even? Boy, there are some uneven cuts across the ends of those. Oh, she's awkward. Okay. I think it's not too bad. We're going to call this acceptable because why not? It's fine. Okay. I feel like maybe I should just push a nail through that. I'll do it later. All right, now let's do the same thing on these legs. This will be interesting. Got one free-floating leg and one not free-floating leg. Hold on. Just picturing my arm. I'll deal with it later. Okay. And put up one more little inch on this blade. Then we're gonna get around to dropping this. I'm thinking about kneecaps. you this leg? Nope. This is this leg. Oh boy, I hope that's this leg. Listen. No. Yes? No? Maybe? It is this leg. Listen. I probably should have labeled these before I cut them. But I didn't, and you would think I would do it now. But I'm also not going to do it now because I don't have a Sharpie. And everything else is just going to wipe off. Alright, so here's my thing. I'm pretty sure that if I make my hinge back into this back part of the leg, and then when I put it on, there, this flat part in the front of the knee and the flat part here are going to act as a kneecap. Am I right or am I wrong? We're going to try it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to angle the slots I cut in this backwards. Like this, diagonally. Meep. Why not? Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. I just chop some parts off the leg and try again. Alright, we're going to make multiple passes with this cut because it's definitely not going to work with just a single cut. I mean, maybe you could force it, but I'm not going to try to force it. That seems like just asking for trouble. And then when we get to this, we have to go down at an angle like this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just guessing. This seems like it's going to work. It might be just an awful idea. Ah! I really should just use a freaking drill for this. But I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna keep complaining that it doesn't work very well. And mentioning that, oh, I should be using a saw for this. I should be using a drill for this. And then I gotta keep using this X-Acto knife and probably nails. Not my fingernails, like hammer and nail nails. Because what else would you put a hole in something with? A drill. Ah! Wow. This leg is thick. We got a chunk out. Ooh, she's happening. All right. Ooh. Speaking of ways I can cut my fingers open. Boy, it would be nice if I could tell how far back that was going. Okay, I can kind of see it on the end there. Ow! Don't stab yourself with your needle nose. I didn't bleed though, so we're still in good shape. See, it's coming along. Getting a little cut in the back. I don't know if you can see the cut lines on the bottom, but they are coming in at a slant, so if there were better ways for me to get good angles on this thing, I wouldn't cut toward myself, but it sucks. Let's see what I can do with these needle nose. The amount of gouging flesh out of these things that I've been doing with the needle nose pliers is just probably not the recommended method, but I don't actually know or care what the recommended method is, other than having the correct tools and using the correct tools. So we're just gonna continue to needle nose plier things into pieces. It's working. And if it works, it's probably at least a little bit correct. That's not true. Yeah. Now. All right. You the front? You are the front. Okay. So, now I have this slanty bit in the back. Thinking. I need to round the corners a little bit so that this can slide against it. So we're going to do that next. Okay. Going to cut into that a little better. Okay. We are friggin' making this happen. What I should just do is go get my cut-proof gloves. But those are also in the kitchen with my proper safety glasses. And I don't want to. So we're just gonna risk our little fingies. Again, I'm an adult and I can do this. Use proper, correct cutting techniques and safety protection gear stuff. Always. Okay. Oh, no, we're not cutting toward our fingers. Listen, I will take many a risk. But sometimes I do actually choose to try to do things the right way. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? Up here on the inner thigh, I'll make a little X, and then I'm going to make an X down on this friggin' foot. Will I ever find those again? Probably not. But at least I have somehow marked that these two go together. I don't need to mark the other ones, because if they don't have the mark, then they don't go together. Alright. Okay. She's looking like a leg. And I think that will let this roll. I do think I need to add a corresponding little bit of a curve onto the top of the back of this. Along here. Just so that it will bend further than this. But I think I'm on the right track. So let's just add ourselves a little corresponding curve. Brute force in this. It's fine. Okay. Not too bad. Alright. So now we've got... Oh, wrong way. Our knee should sit there and stop. And then it should... I'm going to need to do a little more carving. Roll back. Now... I'm going to have to try that out. That's what I think it's going to do, but I don't actually know if that's going to work. At any rate, it'll be an experiment. We'll find out. I really think I need to cut more into this. Like that back one. I just don't think I've carved enough of this out for this to work. I think this needs to go deeper. Ugh. The worst part that I have nothing I can shove in there in like a narrow cutting thing that's got like a cup down. I'm sure like an actual wood carving tool would work correctly for this. But I don't own wood carving tools. I don't think. I might, but I don't think I do because that's not really a medium I engage in. But it may be worthwhile to, you know, invest. Probably not. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll borrow some. I bet Uncle Josh has some. At any rate, we're making do with these friggin' pliers and an X-Acto. Again, I say, I just feel like this needs to have more cut out of it. But for now, we are going to start hacking on the other leg. All ready for this? You go together. All right. Boy, oh, that's the back. Ooh, hiccup. Oh, she's definitely the right one. Let's see if these two are pretty comparable. Yeah, I think they look pretty good side by side. Not too bad. Not too far off. All right. This is what I want. And You're the butt. Please tell me I put this on. You know what? I did. I put it on correctly. I was like, did I just put this knee going the wrong direction? Which if I did, I would figure it out. Probably by cutting straight through like I did with the elbow. Which, I mean, I probably could have done this with the elbow too. Except instead of, you know how on your knee bends, like this is backwards, it would just be the forward part. And then it would bend. And then things should catch at the elbow. Again, I say should because I don't know if it's actually going to work. Okay, let's start shopping. All right. Let's do a little chop into the leg. Good gravy. This is not working very well, in case you're wondering. Mostly because I'm not using the blade how it's intended to be used, and it doesn't like that. Also, there's no point, so there's not like anything to lead this in there except a flat edge, which is not the ideal situation. Usually if you're doing this, you would want like a point to lead in. Yeah, we don't have a point. So we're just gonna go ahead and improvise a little bit. Okay, let's get some side chops on here so we can remove some bits. Okay. I don't know what that was. But it didn't sound like anything broke. So I'm not going to worry about it. Find out when I turn around and step on something. That sounds about right. Ooh. Nice little clump came out of that. Okay. Ow! Don't pinch yourself with the pliers either. That hurts. I don't think I pinched myself hard enough to get myself a blood blister, though, which is good. It's a good thing. At least there's that. Alright. Now we need to give her a little roll back. On that side. And on that side. Is that enough? How much did I do on you? You're smoother. Smoother. Okay. Yeah, they're looking okay. Now let's take a look at these back things. This one is not deep enough. At least it doesn't match the depth of the other one. How high up do you come? Yeah, I need to bring this higher up a little. There's a good chance that I'll need to bring both of them higher up at some point, but for now, to try to make it match the other one, I'm going to go ahead and just bring it a little further back. Alright, we're going to call that good, because I'm sick of doing that. And if I have to fix it later, I'll fix it later. Let's clear away some of our plastic scrap. Half of that went up into my lap instead of into the trash can, so that's fun. Okay, now I need a drill. We're gonna get my drill. Fortunately, I know where it is, and I also recently charged the battery on that, so somewhere in this house I have a box of drill bits of all many sizes. I'm pretty sure that's also in the basement, and I'm not gonna go down to the basement and get it. So we're going to pull out our very limited supply of drill bits that I have up here, and we're going to make one work. Okay. And if I don't have wire that's the correct size, I would be surprised. Okay. Now, first things first. These two are obviously too big. So we're going to go with this guy. And then we're going to use this little guy for a pilot hole. Pilot hole is a hole you drill before you drill the big hole so that you can get it in the right spot. And also because some materials are really hard to drill through with a big drill bit initially. So you drill a little hole to start with, and then that helps the other ones go through. You stop. Okay. He's working. Now, I should be wearing cut-proof gloves. Don't do this. You should be clamping this into a vise, but I don't have a vise, so I'm not going to. But you have a vise. So if you're going to be drilling through things, clamp them in a vise, and don't use your hand to hold it. And if you have to use your hand to stabilize something, wear a cut-proof glove. When it wiggles like that, it means my drill bit isn't straight, which I can actually see now that I'm looking at it. So we're going to loosen this up. And try again. Yeah, should look straight now. Next one. I probably should also measure where in here I'm drilling this so I get it like centered. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to guess. So these legs may end up being a little janky. I'm also just estimating how far in here I need to drill this, which is also not the recommended method. Nothing I'm doing is the recommended method. I don't care. That's very thin. That may not take a bigger drill bit than this. At least not that size of drill bit. Also, in case you're wondering, I can feel the drill bit moving inside this. That's how thin this material is. But, again, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Okay. Now this guy, gotta drill down into. I'm definitely gonna have to do more cuts on this. I'm okay with that. Well, that went through fast. I'm used to drilling through sheet metal. So in case you're wondering, by comparison, this rubber basically isn't there. So loosening up my drill's hold on this drill bit and making it go wobbly. No, it's not bent. I didn't think it was capable of bending it, and I was correct. All right. Leg next. Here we go. I'm just guessing. That was annoying. Listen. I'm putting it in straight, double checking. Well, those don't line up with each other. To nudge this hole over a little. Well, that one went through fine, at least this side. Why was the other one being such a pain in my butt? Okay. All right. Tiny drill bit out. Bigger than I want it to be, but smaller than my other drill bits going in. All right. Ooh, ooh, we see sunshine. We see light through it. Okay. Have confirmed it does go straight through. And I definitely will need to do more stuff on the inside of that. What we're going to do is we're going to use our drill bit to bore out some more of this. Don't do this. This is called the cheater pants method of possibly injuring yourself, which is why you shouldn't do this. But again, I'm a grown-up, and if I want to be stupid, I'm allowed to. Okay. Now we got these guys going in. For the record, if your drill thing is drilling crooked, it's because you're holding the drill crooked. So all of my crappy drills here, that was because of me. It's too big. Listen. We're doing it anyway. Right, give me the other arm. Boy, that leg is not my friend. Go on now. Drill through. Okay. Okay. Well, I have them drilled through. At the very least, there's that. What about you? Are you wide enough for this? You're wide enough for this. We'll bore out a little more of you if I can. Just try it out. No, it's not gonna work. Too jiggly. There's not enough resistance on the arm. The leg is thick enough, but the arm's not. That's okay. All right. Drill bit just pulling through here for us. Okay. Let me see now. Take this off. Probably I should drill some holes in this for like wiring things back together. It does seem like it's probably a good idea. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna start with the torso piece, because if I drill through that neck piece and it breaks, there's not really any coming back from that. And we're gonna start on the back of it, not the front. Good news, she goes through. Come on, drill through the booty cheek. Don't drill this close to your hand, by the way. Okay. Probably fine. That's about as close to that arm joint as we want to get. That one's like in it. I don't even know if we'll be able to access that. But we're gonna try. And if I don't access it, it's not gonna be a big deal. Okay. All right. Fine. Do one just above the hip. Got one in the waist. Mid back. No. One in the upper back. And then one on the shoulder, which may not be accessible, but we're doing it anyway. All right, you're definitely not going to be accessible, so come on, waist, where are you at? Okay. I'm going to try it. Just there. Mid-tom. Under bust. It's pretty far out to the side, but I'm not going to worry about it. Listen, I don't care if they line up with each other all that well. But let's see how I did. I mean, they exist. They're pretty far off from each other, but I don't actually care. Okay. Let's give her one in the front and two in the back, maybe. That'll be fine. Okay. She's got her holes drilled. And I have to figure out, I'm going to have to either find or get myself a different drill bit for that stuff, because she's janky. You know what? Give a little one. I'm going to put the big one back. I am going to drill into the arm a little. The lower arm, not the upper arm. The plastic's too flimsy. But the lower arm, yes. Ooh. Went in. Gross. Okay. Drilling, I do believe, is complete. Their arms prepared. Any whittling I need to do on these, I'm going to do when I get to the arms. Because there's definitely going to be something that needs to be done to make these arms roll forward. But I am not sure exactly how much I want to chop off. And these things are already so small and flimsy that I'm gonna wait until I'm more certain. Okay. You my chop it? Where do you go? There it is. Okay, these two go together. Yep. Yeah, that's gonna do a little more whittling, but I'll deal with that later. Okay. Oh, my nose! Ah! Okay. I think I can take these off now. I'm not drilling anymore. I'm not using power tools anymore. I'm not chopping things that should send them flying anymore. All right, nose. Oh my goodness, my face itches so much. Ah! Okay. Now, what am I going? I'm going to need a dowel to go through this, which I think that looks about the size of like a barbecue skewer. So we're going to do that for the legs. All right. The upper arm, that would be about the size that I would run the posts through on this as well, because I drill it with the same bit. And these, I just need to get wire that's this size so that I can make loops and stuff. Which I have a lot of wire, so if I don't have this size, I'll just twist some together. I suspect I will have something close to this size, but it might be too small rather than too big. So, yeah. Here she is. Isn't she looking great? I mean, honestly, just kind of cute, you know. Her hair could be better, but she doesn't look bad in long hair. Long hair, but doesn't look bad in short hair. Here's her former long hair, which I chopped off screen. Just add a dead raccoon to her head. I'm not going to do that. No, she's going to have short hair because I have short hair. And again, like I said, I chopped off some of my own hair to put on this. So it's definitely getting my hair. At least I'm going to try. I don't think that the wig making on this is going to be delightful, but we'll get there when we get there.